This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons,
where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. My little news update for this week is that I saw online that Leah Jeffries won Outstanding Performance by a Youth at the NAACP Image Awards. Which was so cool.
Yeah,
and there were so much great photos of her.
Did they talk about what scenes got her nominated or anything?
I didn't read it.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't jump in. I was it was all social media and I was just enjoying everybody else's posts. So I didn't really go into the article. They did have a cute picture though of her and the guy who plays Grover in the movies.
Yeah.
On the red carpet.
That's funny.
Someone said they had some kind of connection. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. That's a lot of great data. But I don't know what the connection, but they have some kind of connection. They've known each other. They already know each other, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. So that's good for her. Good for her for winning an award.
Yeah, that is cool. When I saw the behind the scenes of Percy Jackson recently, and I saw that specific scene of them getting the shield, that's why I asked, was there a specific scene that got her nominated? Because her performance in that episode with the shield and her saving Percy and her talking to Hephaestus is I feel like one of her best scenes in the whole season.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It'd be interesting, to know. I didn't look into that, sorry.
That's okay. Sometimes there's not sometimes they don't specify the scene. It's just we watched her performance, we think she's good enough.
Yeah.
But that is so cool.
Cool. Okay, good. I'm going to go into the recap. Last week, we covered part of chapter 10, is that right?
I think, part of chapter 10
and then into chapter 11. Yeah. And it was starting with being outside by Thalia's tree, some Percy sass, starting the quest with the taxi, the missing hacky sack scene we talked about, at the gas station, on the bus with the Furies, and then the scene in the forest that is somehow in New Jersey.
Yep.
And that's our recap.
That was it. We did get one fight scene in that one, so...
Oh, that's true.
It wasn't the whole talk was about
I know.
Bus rides and walking. So
I did say and the Furies, but you're right. Okay, fine. They fought the Furies and
I was just saying I remember last episode you were I think the whole all we just talked about was all the boring stuff in this episode. But there was one fight scene.
That's true.
It wasn't all boring.
True.
Okay, so just a reminder that we will talk openly about everything that is book 1 related and season 1 related, but we'll give a specific spoiler warning if we're going to go into the other books or other series.
Okay, good.
And then to start out this episode, we're starting with them still kind of in the woods, and Grover mentions the hamburgers that he smells, and they walk over, they meet Medusa, and they go inside and have that whole exchange in the kitchen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he starts out, he interrupts their arguing and says he smells hamburgers, and at first they're like, Grover, and I was like, no, really.
I thought he was going to be I smell monsters.
I know, instead he smells hamburgers.
They still haven't mentioned one time that Grover can smell monsters. Monsters can smell demigods.
In the TV show.
And Grover can smell monsters. Why have they not mentioned that? I really thought it was going to be the moment, and then he goes, hamburgers, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. And he's kind of saying that's weird. He's like, it's going to be one of us because it's right off the Seder path.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the New Jersey woods. There's hamburgers right off of the Seder path.
Yeah.
But clearly tourists also find this place because there's statues of tourists and a cop and stuff.
Right. It makes a lot more sense. Well, people could hike.
Yeah.
That's true. But it makes a lot more sense in the book because she's on a 2-lane highway that's not as frequented anymore because they had put in a new highway. So she mentioned since they put in the new highway, I don't get that many. But obviously she gets regular old people because it's a whole statuary full of them.
Yeah. They weren't and also a bunch of monsters because obviously, it is obvious that she's Medusa when you walk in and see a garden full of monster statues. That is more obvious than when they're just quote regular statues.
True, I didn't think about that. So that's gonna get us right into one of my first complaints, but backing up a little bit, I just want to say for anybody who doesn't remember or is listening and has not read the books and has only watched the TV shows, whatever, This scene is so different in the books than in the movies that it's not really so much a comparison. This is going to be mostly
this is what
we
TV
liked
show.
and didn't like about the TV show, because it's just they just did a totally different thing.
Yeah. Now this was again like, I mean, we've definitely had some changes along the way, but this scene is like their first encounter with like a famous monster besides the Furies, you know. But we've had the Furies have kind of been sprinkled in since chapter 1 of this book. But like it's like the first, like they're out on their quest and now they're lured into a monster trap, right? Which is like, I mean, this happens like 40 times a book. Like it happens a lot in these books, but it's like the first one is so memorable to me.
Medusa's.
How they were almost lured into it and everything about it. And the second Annabeth walks up and is like, anyone want to guess what M stands for? And I was like, oh, like,
did not expect that.
Okay. And then it just like kept on changing.
So this is a theme through the whole season 1, where somehow when they approach one of these mythological monsters, they know immediately when they come in. And in the books, what usually happens is they don't really know. And, you know, maybe it's obvious, but it doesn't matter. It's the fun of them being kind of lured in. They don't really know what's happening. They get, then they start to piece it together and they go, wait a second, you're blah. Or wait a second, this is this.
And usually there's some hints like the monster weirdly knows too many details about them. Like, wait, I don't remember telling you my last name.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Percy in later books, like, notices, like, if anyone calls me Perseus Jackson, they're probably a monster. Like, no one calls me that.
Or a god, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, but not, like, normal people, they don't call me that.
Exactly. So we have this is a theme that they're doing at least they did in season 1, that I didn't like.
Spoiler warning, skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid spoilers about book 2. I wonder if it's going to continue. Like, to go
maybe
into a
they'll hear
different
the
book
feedback of everybody?
and Sea of Monsters, when they show up at Cersei's Island, are they going to show up and Annabeth's going to be like, it's
Cersei's
the witch!
So don't
She's
eat anything.
turn
That
you
would ruin
a guinea pig. Like,
that would ruin everything.
We have to get out of here right now. Like, is that what they're going to do? Because if so, that's crazy.
No, I like it when they go in. I like how they do it in the book. I know that's the theme of this whole podcast practically, is that Kendra likes what they do with the book. But let me just say, I'm not mad about the whole Medusa scene. As a scene itself,
it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good. I know that's the only reason why I'm not like
and I
too
love
mad about
Medusa. I mean, there's so much I love about it. I still think.
You're just wondering why.
Yeah, I mean, why it is great, but what was the reason for making them go in completely aware of who she is?
Yeah.
And why change everything. Now, so I wanted to say, like they show up in the book and they see, you know, like a broken down gas station, which they kind of have that in the TV series. They show that gas station on the side. They kind of whip away.
Yeah.
It does say Auntie M's
Garden Emporium.
Yeah. So, so that's similar. The only difference is in the book, it is a big like warehouse. Basically, there's like what it is like a whole statuary outside.
Yeah.
And then you go in the warehouses continue, and then the back there's like this little like a fast food, small little diner.
Yeah. Like clearly just, like one of those
like a counter and some
diners, but that have
everything
like,
they really
good
want right
food.
Then. Yeah.
But it's like also has never been cleaned. Like one of those places.
And when they when Auntie M opens the door, she is described as...
Isn't she like old?
She is like a tall Middle Eastern woman. And then he says, at least I assumed she was a Middle Eastern woman because she wore a long black gown that covered everything but her hands, and her head was completely veiled.
Yeah, so she's veiled. So it's not that she is Middle Eastern. Like
it doesn't tell you.
No, but
she's not.
She's not.
Yeah, so he's assuming because she looks like she's dressed like
because
one.
So she's purposely dressed like a Middle Eastern woman
to hide the fact she had to have a black gauze over her face.
Yeah, because he also says like a Middle Eastern woman, so her head is fully covered, but then also that over her face that looks like a mourning veil, as if she had lost like a husband or something.
It doesn't say that particularly.
Well, okay, that's always the picture I got of why she's wearing like a black. Because isn't a black veil over her eyes?
Yeah, so she has a black gauze over her eyes, and it says like her hands looked old. So there's the old woman thought.
Yeah.
But well manicured and elegant, so I imagined that she was once a beautiful lady.
Yes.
Her accent sounded vaguely Middle Eastern as well. Where is Medusa from? Do you know?
She should just be from Greece.
Was it a Greece? Remember, it's not just Greece that... the Greek gods were. Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, okay.
She was in she worked at one of Athena's temples, and depends on what story you're going off of, but in a lot of them she works in like a main Athena temple, like one of the big ones, where she is like basically devoted her entire life to serving Athena at this temple. Like she works at the temple like a monk might.
Yeah.
Again, depending on the story.
Okay.
And so you'd think that would be like in Greece.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
I don't know why I just
Greek
think
accents, do they sound like Middle Eastern accents? I don't remember what any accent sounds like now. I can't remember.
How does even Percy even know?
He's probably just like, it
slightly foreign. It sounds foreign. And because
like,
she looks like that, he thinks she's Middle Eastern.
Yeah. And he does say vaguely.
That's
Middle
true,
Eastern,
yeah. So they totally change Medusa's look in the TV show, but I actually love what they did. I mean, if they're trying in the book, if he was trying in the book to come up with a reason why it wouldn't be weird for her to have this black veil over her head, then the way they did it in the TV show was perfect, because it was like this elegant, like,
yeah, she is so pretty,
old-fashioned hat that has a
right
little
away,
veil.
so it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. So
she even introduces herself. Hello, I'm Medusa.
I'm Medusa. Yeah. So in the book, that doesn't happen at all. They go in. She feeds them. Something's up with both. I think a mix between her food and her voice.
Well,
no, because he gets really sleepy and really compelled to follow her. There's a lot of different comments here where he's like,
both the food and
yeah.
I think it's the food.
Well, Annabeth. So, because Grover doesn't eat the food. No, he eats a little bit of the food. He eats like the French fries or something like that.
I thought he ate the entire container that the French fries came in.
No. He just says at one point he started chewing the wax paper.
Oh, the wax paper.
And he was like mentioning like all these little things that he should have noticed were a problem, but he's like didn't notice at the time. It was like the fact that she said Annabeth and her eyes like tightened when she looked at Annabeth. And then the fact that she didn't even seem to care about
her voice tightened. Her eyes couldn't have tightened. They can't see her eyes.
You're right. Fine. It was some kind of expression. Some expression happened in her voice when she talked to Annabeth.
I think she was talking to her as if she had like offended her, even though Annabeth had been nothing but polite. I think that's what Percy said. Like as if Annabeth had said something mean to her, but maybe Annabeth hadn't.
And then Grover starts chewing on wax paper and she doesn't say anything. So all these little points of like, obviously her not being just a normal mortal, he wasn't picking up on, because he was like, so like the food and her voice. He mentioned both her voice and her food was just making him so like, just not sleepy, wanting to move, just sleepy, not really caring. And Annabeth starts to figure it out. And she doesn't figure it out all the way.
Doesn't Medusa lock one of the doors?
No, that doesn't happen in the
Really?
book. I just read it. But Annabeth starts to figure it out and is like, we should go. Well, I don't know. If you want to read the whole section again, I don't remember anything about locking the doors, but that's not what... They're all sitting there.
Yeah.
It's just
that she just, like, walked away for a minute or whatever. Like, he heard a click or something, and, like, he was like, I should have been worried about that, but I wasn't.
I don't recall
There's, like,
that
another
at all.
Thing that...
I don't recall that, and I just read it, so if I missed it, I might have. But she started talking about her sisters and how there was a bad woman jealous of her.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. And then Annabeth was like, you can tell she was like getting nervous. She's like, I think we should go. And I thought at the time that she figured it out, but she doesn't figure it out. She's worried about it. But then she's like, well, I just want you guys to pose for a picture. And she actually brings them outside. See, she didn't lock the door.
I guess
she brings them outside, sits them on the bench.
It
must be a different thing.
Yeah.
Sits them on a bench right next to Uncle Fernandad.
Yeah.
And then is like about to take a or like she says she's going to take a photo. And then suddenly, what happens? I don't know. Suddenly Grover looks over and goes, oh my gosh, that really is my Uncle Fernandad or something. And Annabeth is starting to figure it out.
Starting to wake up.
Yeah. And then she whatever goes,
Percy, don't look.
And pushes him over and puts on her invisibility cap.
Yeah.
And then that whole scene happens, which is somewhat similar. The scene is somewhat similar. The fight scene is.
She's talking about.
Well, she gives her whole monologue, that evil people like to do. And but Grover's flying around and is hitting her with like a branch or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and Percy.
He has a club.
Yeah, and Percy uses Annabeth hands him a glass sphere and says something. She starts getting all like technical, like you can look at this, but if the the reflection and so using all these technical words, he's like speak English, and he's like, well, just look at the glass, don't look at her, cut off her head. He's like, okay.
Yeah, she looks like because like it distorts the image because it's a circle. And I think she's just mentioned like something about like how
she says the convexity will cause some distortion. The reflection size should be off by a factor of
right.
And then he goes, "Would you speak English?"
Yeah, like she's basically saying like it's because it's a circle, it's not a perfect mirror, so like she might be farther away than you think. But please, it's not time. I can't understand you.
Yeah, and then he cuts off her head. So it's like the fight scene's somewhat similar, but all leading up to it.
But no one puts the invisibility cap on Medusa's head.
No, Annabeth has the invisibility cap because she does also in the fight scene. So yeah. So anyways, that was like a quick rundown of what happened in the book. But in the movie, they literally show up. Oh, and they're, what's her name? Okay, they show up. They see the monsters, and she goes, duh, Auntie M. You know, who is that? We better get out of here. They turn around, and then Electo comes plopping out of the sky. So they added that from the TV. The TV show adds Electo as an extra incentive to keep them there because they can't really leave with Electo right there.
Yeah, as opposed to...
I don't know why don't they just fight her Electo 3 against 1, but whatever.
Yeah, right? Did they just kill
Did they just fight the Electo? Or her sisters?
Maybe she's just a lot more formidable or something. I don't know. That's a great question. Well, but then why don't they just kill Medusa? Like, you know, whatever.
I don't know. Why do they do what they do? But some reason...
They're trying to avoid a fight at all, if possible.
Yeah. Oh, here's the other thing. Is it said Garden Emporium? No, it said Garden Gnome Emporium?
I should have said that on the side.
Yeah. That's what it says in the book. I'm pretty sure it says the same thing. I would have noticed if it didn't.
Yeah.
Did you know that she actually sold garden gnomes? So the reason I'm saying this is I know it's called the Garden Gnome Emporium, but it was full of statues of people that she had, whatever,
but she also had other ones. Did she also?
Yeah, so then it says flanking the entrance as advertised were 2 cement garden gnomes, ugly bearded little runts, smiling and waving as if they're about to get their picture taken. So are you telling me there's actually gnomes in the Percy Jackson universe and I never realized this? Like, how many times have I read these books? Are those real gnomes that she turned to?
There must have been.
Or did she she's not making these things. She's not an artist. I'm not that kind of artist.
Very specific type of artist.
Yeah.
Like a photographer.
Yeah. I for the first time I actually noticed that, like, and thought about what that was.
It's just those animals, right? Like little animal statues.
It said, I don't know. It said it looks like one of those shops that sells lawn flamingos and wooden Indians, but I don't think it did. I think it was just saying it's like
there's
one of those
2 gnomes and then a bunch of humans. Is that really
interesting? I don't know. It says no. So the front lot was a forest of statues. Oh, you're right. Cement animals, cement children, even a cement satyr playing the pipes, which gave Grover the creeps. And then he goes, "Looks like my Uncle Ferdinand." So yeah, so you're right. Animals and people, right?
Yeah.
And then when you walk in, the warehouse was filled with more statues, people in all different poses, wearing all different outfits and with different expressions on their face. Anyways, so in the TV show, they show up and it's all monsters.
In the front.
And what that lends credibility to is this whole thing from his mom saying that, like, in a way, he's... Like, it points that Medusa is only killing monsters. It doesn't show a bunch of frightened people.
No.
So when Medusa comes out and says, "I'm Medusa," and she's like, you can stay with Electo if you want, but she's not going to follow you inside, and I have food. Yeah. You're welcome to come.
And I just
Percy,
want to talk,
you can tell he's thinking of his mom. And he's like...
I mean, he literally says...
Oh, does he say it?
Yeah, he says, well, my mom says that she wasn't a monster, and I trust her more than anything. Or something like that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Grover follows him, and Annabeth's like... Ugh.
You can see her literally be like, what the...
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm sorry, Annabeth, but if someone had implemented a voting system, maybe we wouldn't have been in this situation. Maybe if you had introduced democracy back on the bus. I'm just saying, this is exactly what happens to tyrants. I'm just putting it out there. Okay. We've been all over the place, but I want to say that Electo shows up and Percy hands Grover the box with the shoes.
Right, so we're tracking the shoes at this point.
At that moment, Grover has the shoes, Percy's holding his sword.
That's right.
Electo says that line of, like, you should have taken the deal when you had the chance. Percy's like, what deal?
Oh, right. So she, like, outs Annabeth on the offer. Not that that's really... I mean, Annabeth didn't take it, so it doesn't matter.
I know. That's what you would think, but it does. Anyways, Percy's like, what offer?
Yeah.
I guess he's upset because she didn't mention it to him when they were, they had time.
Running for their life.
No, when they were wandering through the woods.
Okay, fine.
She could have mentioned it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So we have that happen, and then Medusa shows up and says, if you guys have a disagreement, like, you can come inside and we can talk about it. But then she's like, but I bet you won't come in, Electo. And Electo just hides in her wings, which it just looks so cool. Like, the way the way that she holds her wings. And even later when she's standing outside and she's like, I don't know how to explain it, but she's like, the elbow of her wings are like on the floor, on the ground by her feet. You see how big they are. It's just cool. I like seeing more of her, like, not like in an action scene where it's also fast. Yeah. You can really see, like, her wings.
Admire what they've done with her.
Even though it's different from the books. Right. In the books, she's supposed to be like a shriveled hag, not like a full-grown person.
Really?
Yeah, they're shriveled hags.
Yeah, but... Okay, cool.
I mean, not like shriveled, like literally bunny size, but like different than a full person. They're like shriveled old ladies with leather bat wings.
Oh, when they turn into their monster form, but she looked like a real person when she was Mrs. Dodds. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
So now Medusa shows up and she's like, hi, I'm Medusa. And I'm like, what was even the point of the Auntie M thing? Like, I just don't even...
Doesn't she also call him, like, high son of Poseidon or something like that?
And then he's like, how did you know? And she's like, seriously, everyone's been talking about it. No, she just said that, like, how long did you think that secret would keep? Like, one of the big three claimed a kid. Oh, yeah, she says, like, that exact line.
Okay.
Poseidon has claimed a child. How long did you think that secret would keep?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I just love her, like the actress that plays Medusa.
Oh, she did a great job.
I love everything about her. I love how they film her, like, from the side. You always, like, see her red lips, like, talking, and, like, you get so much emotion without seeing the eyes. And the fact that you can do that, because, like, as people say, the eyes are the windows of the soul, and, like, especially in acting,
and you actually really want to see her eyes, which is kind of interesting, because, like, you don't want to see her eyes. It's Medusa, but you really want to see her eyes because she's, like, hiding them, and she's so pretty.
Human instinct to, like peek under the veil.
Eyes? Yeah.
Yep, curiosity, man. It's what got us into this mess, right?
I know, right?
What was that? Who was that person? Pandora's box.
Oh God, I thought you meant Eve. You mean the one who bit the apple?
Well, sure, whatever one you want to talk about.
Women,
right? That's what I say. Whichever woman you want to blame for everything.
Yep, there you go.
Anyways,
so they go in, right? Is that what you're ready to talk about?
Yep. So they do head inside. The only other thing I had written down was, this is why we should vote.
And so when they go inside, it's like this fancy dining room. It's more of a house. It is definitely like a house that's been converted into a cafe, but not even very obviously. It looks more like just a dining room, but then you look around, there's like small tables around, so it is like a little cafe. It's covered in cupcakes and cookies and candy, which I think is hilarious.
Looks like she's trying to lure children into her house.
It really does.
Like, that's a lot of candy.
What's that fairy tale where
Gretchen
Hansel and Gretel. Oh gosh. It's been a long time. I don't even know if I ever read that one to you guys. No, it's Gretel.
Gretchen.
No, not Gretchen. Oh gosh. Okay, everybody.
Hansel and Gretel.
Who wants to tell us
Hansel and Gretel?
What's the name of that? Yeah. Anyways, that one.
You did read that story to us, I think, like one time, and then after you finished it, you said that you hate that story. I remember it.
Really?
And I was like, it's not that bad. I mean, Shirley tries to eat them.
Oh
and then they shove her in the oven. There's really no way to make that fairy tale, like, nice. That's why Disney has never tried to remake it. So there's just no way that's not awful.
That's crazy.
There's no kiddie version of witch that eats children.
It makes you wonder if they were thinking about that, though, when they were doing this. Like, were they thinking about that, all the idea of her having all that candy and cupcakes and cookies? I mean, that display was amazing.
And it's like, did she just set that up 1 second ago, or did she know they were coming? Like, that's my question. Like,
or did she
always have that set up?
I mean, when she goes in the kitchen and she says something's burning, like, did you see how much all the hamburger pieces she had out? Yeah. Did you see that? It was crazy. Yeah, maybe I don't know.
She was expecting them somehow. Like, somehow it was expecting
smelled them. Their inadequacies.
Yeah. She smelled something.
Anyways. Okay, good. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. They go in, and of course Grover's like, yeah, I'm going to eat. Doesn't he say something like...
So he asks... No, Percy says, do you think this food is okay to eat?
Safe, yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to be honest. I'm so hungry, it's worth the risk. Oh, I forgot the line.
Yeah, it was something like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so hungry, I'll eat.
I'm willing to take the chance.
Take the chance, yeah. And so he puts down, so we're keeping track of the shoes. You don't see what he does. He doesn't put them down right next to him.
Well, you
must be.
No, he must have put them down right next to him.
Well, I looked in that picture. I know later.
Okay,
but that
so
picture, he might have put it down on the floor or on the seat next to him. Because Annabeth isn't going to sit down. She doesn't sit down at all.
She does not sit down.
Yeah.
So Annabeth does walk in. Percy's like, thanks for coming. And she says, this is different for me than it is for you. Which sounded like a weird line. But I guess, then Medusa is like, oh, you think it's because I'm going to hold a grudge against you because you're the child of Athena. And now we start getting into Medusa's story about what happened to her.
Yeah, so she does the whole story about her and how much she loves Athena and how she's just like you to Annabeth. I was just like you. And then about Poseidon. And it's funny when she tells that story, she's really putting down Athena and like she seems to like.
She says like Poseidon saw me in a way that no one else did.
He could really see me or whatever.
But then calls him a monster later.
I tried to make sense of it. Them.
Yeah, I tried to make sense of it. And then I'm like, you know what? She's just lying because she is a monster. She's the bully. Like, I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of this because she's lying. She is. Annabeth is right. She's lying.
At that point, she is using. Even just the fact that you only see monster statues and she's feeding them. And she's telling them what happened. She's really trying to get Percy on her side for whatever reason. And part of it could be the fact that she was in love with his father.
Yeah, and so that is the question is, what is the reason? Because we have a very obvious motive in the book for all of this. It's because she's still in love with Poseidon and also still hates whatever. So she wants to
she's going to kill all of them.
Well, she wants to turn Annabeth into a statue.
And then break her.
To break into 1,000 pieces. Yeah. And then she wants to turn Percy into a statue so she can look at him forever.
Yes.
So, you do get a motive. I mean, it's a crazy monster motive. You get a motive. Whatever. They just like to kill.
That one. Yeah.
But still, you do get the motive. But here it's what does she want? She says she wants to help Percy because she feels a kinship to Percy's mom. But, she's still pretending to be a good guy here.
But then she starts to
even believe what
insult
she says.
His dad, calling him a monster. I think she's trying to upset Athena by killing. She's I can get rid of.
Away? I mean,
because is she 100% a monster, or is she still trying to convince herself that she?
I guess Annabeth was not really looking at her. She was.
Annabeth was not looking at her.
Where the other two
she would have had to fight Annabeth if she tried to do that. Annabeth would not just turn and look at her.
And I guess at the very end. When they're downstairs and now she's already been exposed to she's already been exposed for killing tourists and such.
Yeah.
She does say, I wanted to, what did she say? Something about teaching the gods a lesson by, revealing the truth about them to you guys. But if you guys are going to choose to be like your parents, maybe the best message I could send is by shipping your statues to Olympus.
Yeah.
So I guess that's her true teach turn the gods' children against them because she's still mad at the gods.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense.
Well, let's say Percy listened to her and she got rid of Grover and Annabeth. Well, Annabeth right now is the pride and joy of her mom. Kind of, that's the idea you get, So that would have pissed off
really
Athena.
Think she's the most formidable
and then he could have, and that could have, in the end, really screwed up Percy. He could have gone, who knows which way he could have gone taking that choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could have gone against the gods. And that's what Medusa seems to want. She would be on, Luke's side. She seems to want the gods to be punished for what they do to mortals, which, you know what? I mean, I'm not even against her on that. Although, just like with Luke's
gods are not great.
Just like with Luke, the ways they go about it, not really great. Percy does it way better. He does get the gods to change.
I know. He does it the right way.
Yeah.
Not by killing innocent people or deciding to destroy the world.
Yeah. Anyways.
I was going to say one thing I realized is that in the TV series, Grover's just I don't care, I just want to eat. Yeah. In the book, he's he's the opposite. He's no, don't eat this stuff. Don't come in here. Why are we coming here? It smells like monsters. He's actually the one, the other two weren't listening to him. And this one, it's Annabeth who's no, don't go in there. Well, because she knows it's, you know what I mean? It's a different scenario, but I just thought that was interesting.
And either way, they don't get listened to, so that's something.
Either way you go, either way we're getting to the Medusa fight, no matter how we go about it,
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to say, though, that when Medusa says, the gods gave me this gift, the gift that I can't be bullied anymore. I'm sorry, but Annabeth could have just shut up. Like, she could have just said that. Like, Medusa wasn't even saying anything, like, bad. Like, if she decides to take this as a gift, how is that hurting anyone?
Yeah.
Like, Annabeth
Why did she have to say it's a curse?
Like, she should have just shut up. But whatever, it's fine. It's true that, like, I don't know.
But she's also a hot-headed 12-year-old or 11-year-old or whatever, however old.
I know, but, like, pull it together. You're supposed to be smart. Smart people shut up when it's time to shut up. I'm just saying. Dumb people like Percy talk when they're not supposed to talk.
If she's supposed to be the best warrior... Well, see, they just keep saying she's the best warrior. They hardly ever say anything about her brains, and it's supposed to be her brains. So never mind. Who knows?
Who freaking knows with this Annabelle? Anyway, so yeah, I did write, like... So she keeps on saying that she's not a monster, she's not a bully, but I'm like, but she is a monster. Like, she's straight up a monster. Yeah. So is she just lying, or is she delusional? Like, that's the two delusional options. Maybe she's a little bit of both. Like, she's lying to them and delusional. I don't know.
I mean, when you think about her story and stuff, like, she went from being the most beautiful, beloved, priestess or whatever of Athena to suddenly being a Gorgon, right? Wasn't it the three, her and her two sisters who had helped, they became the Gorgons?
Yeah, I think they'd helped her hide it.
Something, yeah.
Or...
They did something, they kind of helped her in some way, so they all got...
I think they helped her hide the fact that she was with Poseidon or something. I don't remember, but they did help her in some way. Oh, no! That's not what it was. Okay, again, depends on the myth, but I think that they just didn't want to leave her. Like, they still stuck by her side after... she was exposed, like, with her crime. Yeah. They were, like, still sticking up for her, and that was just enough for Athena. She was like, fine, you want to be like her? Boom.
All of them, yeah. So whatever it was,
and that's all they did wrong.
She suddenly goes from that to that, with her sister's lives and hers being, like, ruined, basically. And then her sisters eventually, in this scenario, her sisters are dead. Yeah. Because she explains that in the book.
But they do come back in the later book. So they're not dead forever.
Sure, but she's lonely.
Yeah.
Her life got ruined because of a mistake that she made. I mean, she should have known better, honestly.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things where it depends on the myth once again. And Annabeth says that she's lying, and I mean, clearly she's lying about a lot. But what is Annabeth's version of this myth? Like, in Rick's story, what is the version of this myth? Because we definitely have times where, I mean, the myth very nicely says, like, it says that, like, Poseidon seduced her, but it's basically saying that she didn't really have a choice in what happened with Poseidon. But of course, she was still the one punished. So there's certain version of the story, and then there's the version that she was
totally having an affair with Poseidon on her own will, and they did something in the Athena's camp, in
Athena's temple,
and that was
what did it.
What's too much. Now that makes a little more sense to me,
and that's like more like, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Why Athena would do that, because it's like, maybe in that version of the story, Athena would have been fine with it if it was just not at her temple. It's like, do whatever you want at your own house, but this is my freaking temple.
Yes.
And you're sleeping with a different god.
And that's not just any god. It's Poseidon, you see?
Yeah, a god I already hate.
Yeah, like, this is my enemy god, and you're doing that. It's like, it's a little of a swear word, which I can't say, to Athena if you do something like that, you know. Yeah. But who knows, because like you said, there's so many myths, and the only way that he describes it is what Auntie M says in the book. She says, well, see, we also get, okay, it's fine, we get two ways. We get what she says in the TV series, and we get this. She says, you see, a bad woman was jealous of me long ago when I was young. I had a boyfriend, you know, and this bad woman was determined to break us apart. She caused a terrible accident. My sisters stayed by me. They shared my bad fortune as long as they could, but eventually they passed on. Yeah. They faded away. I alone have survived. So that's her story, but that doesn't explain anything.
So they're supposed to, when she says faded away, she means like literally, because in this world, if monsters get forgotten, or gods or titans or whoever, if they start to get forgotten, like, they literally disappear. They stop existing anywhere.
Yeah.
However,
people somehow get Medusa.
Called, like, I just know they do. Her sisters, in like a way different book, somehow get called back by the evil forces at hand during that time. They somehow find the sisters in like the deepest parts of Tartarus, and somehow they rise again because they fight Percy in a different book.
But I thought that was in Tartarus. They're not. They're still dead.
Nope.
That's dead.
No.
Okay.
They don't fight. They fight him in the mortal world.
Oh, I remember now. Okay, good. Yeah.
And they even mentioned
but Medusa's not with
Percy,
them.
like,
just
you killed my sister.
Yeah, they're a lot funnier than
they're
Medusa.
really funny.
In fact, they're almost cute. That's how funny they are. At least one of them is.
They're pretty funny.
Anyways, I don't think that's really a spoiler, but whatever.
We didn't say what book. We didn't get into it too much. But so it is interesting because somehow they do come back, even though their
but if you remember
faded.
all that stuff happens in those books, you remember how they come back. So.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
So now while
we're in
Percy and Medusa are talking in the kitchen. You know, that's when she says, like, he's the monster, and that's when Percy starts to be like, you know.
Well, when she says, I'm going to get rid of your freaking friends, he's like, oh, yeah, no.
Yes, but that's when he starts to be like,
wait a second. Yeah.
Just because it just doesn't sound right to him.
Yeah.
Although, you know, she does make a good point, like, where's your mom now? Is she safe? You know? Yeah. But that's not Poseidon's fault. This literally has nothing to do with him. Except for that, I guess he put her in danger by giving her a child.
Yeah, but Sally's not a victim, and that's not her story. Her story isn't that she's like, I loved your father. Poseidon, I love you. I'm very happy about this. In the
books, Poseidon said, come live with me under the sea. I will build you a castle, and you can live in a castle under the sea. And she was like, no thanks. We learned that at the end of this book, and, I mean, she has her own reasons. But
yeah, so it's not like she didn't have her own cause to put her in this situation. He knows that, and she knows that, and they're not blaming Poseidon for that.
Percy would not think of his mom as a victim, especially in the TV show version of his mom.
Yeah,
because she's definitely not
less of one. Yeah,
so I think
it doesn't work when Medusa says it. Yeah,
he's like, hey, I don't know about this, and then of course he's like, no, you can't kill my friends, and they run downstairs. But before that, while they're in the kitchen. This is what happens with the shoes. This is where I figured it out. Because Annabeth's like, Grover, get ready to run. And then that's all. I mean, you just get that 1 second
when
exchange.
Percy walks back to the kitchen, she says that. Okay.
Yeah, and then he turns around, he has the food in his mouth, and we're like, yes, we love foodie Grover.
That's right. With the food hanging out of his mouth,
And then he slowly pushes it in.
I know,
like,
it's a great
and then you hear the
scene.
crunch of it biting into it. But that's all you see. It's just that second. And then we go back to the kitchen. And then when Medusa starts looking for them, what you see on the table is an empty shoebox. So I'm guessing when she said, get ready to run, he said, okay, let me put my shoes on.
Yeah.
Although, did he have his fake feet on him? Like, I'm confused about how that part works, because he was clearly walking around just bare hooves in the woods.
So does he carry
fake shoes in his backpack? Like, the fake feet to go in the shoes, you know?
I don't know. But I have to say that I watched this scene so many times, and it wasn't until the very last one when I decided to follow, like, how did he get the shoes on? Because we were talking about that. I decided to go and look myself, because you said you figured it out.
Yeah.
That I realized that, so we have Medusa turning around, realizing Percy's gone.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the dining room, and the box is there, but my attention went right to Medusa walking in and going over to the window. And looking out. And despite the fact that it literally zoomed in on the box,
I know.
I'm totally looking at Medusa and totally missed the significance of the box.
The very first time I watched it, I had that same. I didn't notice it at all.
Well, the first 4 times I watched it, but that's what makes me sad. And then, not only that, I'm watching this going, how did you miss this, Kendra? Not only that, the next scene is the shoes on his feet. Instantly, do you remember that? Or did you miss that? Right after the box,
I noticed that,
she looks out the window and it goes to them.
Still there.
It switches right from there to the red shoes.
On his feet.
It's like literally telling you, see, empty box?
See this empty
see
box?
Red shoes? Grover put the shoes on. It told me that.
And you were like,
and I missed it the first 4 times.
Figure this out.
So I would like to know if I was the only one who missed it, or if everyone did, and for some reason that was not clear enough for us, despite them literally going from empty box to shoes.
Yeah. Once I started really watching it to make notes, I noticed that right away.
That's crazy. I was like, what? It's so obvious. How did I miss it?
Yeah. And then I realized the why. The why is because she said, get ready to run.
Yeah. So I didn't realize
that's what he did to get ready.
He probably thought it was a good idea, but at the same time, they didn't know what they were going to find when they went down. But hold on, before we get there, because I'm getting past myself on this really fast. Ahead of myself? Excuse me. There is a similarity in these scenes, this one and the Alecto and Annabeth one, because Alecto says, turn him over to me, you can go on the quest, blah, blah, blah.
And she disappears.
And then she disappears. And then Medusa
That's
says,
so
I can get them out of the equation, blah, blah. And then he
asked me
disappears.
to, yeah.
Both cases, they don't even say anything. They literally
They're
go,
like, oh, we got it. We
have to go. They don't even give the monsters any chance to know that they are going to turn down their offer. So I thought that was really cool that they did that.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, they're both just like, oh, God, we got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we got to go.
Now, tell me, why would they pick... Let's go downstairs into the basement while we flee this monster instead of So they basically show you
can't go outside.
The Electro's still up front.
Yeah.
But hello, is there not a
back door?
A window?
Maybe they thought that was the back door.
Maybe they did. Oh yeah, but it's going downstairs into a dark. I'm so confused about why they went downstairs.
Had, like, this much time, you know? They're like, that's the back door. Oh no, this is not the back door. Okay, well we gotta hide down here. Maybe that's as quick as it went.
I know, it's so crazy. To me, that was dumb, and I don't know
what
their
reasons.
Like
right afterwards, right? Because it's like
the door's open too. They didn't even bother to close the door behind them.
Yeah, it's probably Annabeth's fault. I'm just kidding.
It was so weird. I was like, okay, fine.
So, because they're like at the bottom of the stairs, but it's really dark in there. They don't even know where they are until Medusa starts walking down, and I guess like she has magical shoes that like trigger a really dramatic fire.
You think it's her magical shoes?
I think she has has a button like on one part of her shoe, or like half a circuit and the other half circuit's on the floor, so like right when they connect.
Together? I'm sure that's exactly what it is, Brianna. Well done.
Well, when they walked down the stairs, you don't
think it was like as simple as a little light switch at the top of the stairs?
I didn't see her turn a light switch.
You don't see her at all.
I see her feet.
You don't turn on light switches with your feet.
I wonder who her interior designer is. It's like, would you like some lights in this room? Actually, I would like a light switch that turns on fire. The fire needs to light up the edge of the staircase, and then once it gets to the bottom, it needs to light up the rest of the room, but like really dimly. Yeah. So that people can hide from me in here.
So that I can chase them down.
Let me write down addresses in a really dim room.
And basically turn a bunch of statues into terrified looking statues that don't even smile. Like, she doesn't do a very good job of this.
No.
At least the one in the book.
Well, it seems like she's shipping them to Olympus mostly, I guess.
Oh, here, you want some terrified looking humans?
Well, if someone was going to want that, it would be someone on the Olympus.
She literally has
maybe she's shipping the other ones down to Hades.
Like, do you want some more terrifying humans? You already have a bunch. He just, actually Hades is not the one that's going to be ordering any terrified looking humans. He's got way too many of those.
Well, they're not humans, they're spirits. So maybe he wants some like more solid ones. Maybe he beats them up like cathartically.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who's
it's so these. Funny. But it's a kind of it does set a scene. It sets a scene. It's dark. The fire comes on, her clicking of her feet.
Right. So once the fire comes on, then they look around and they go, like, they don't even say anything, but you get that moment of like, oh, those are people. Like, that tourist has a backpack, that cop has a gun. Like, these are just mortals that got killed by Medusa. So that's not great. And then you see, Ferdinand.
Uncle Ferdinand.
Yes.
Ferdinand. Okay, whatever.
Ferdinand?
I don't know. I said it for fine before, and suddenly I don't know how to say it anymore. Uncle Ferdinand.
Yep,
it was Uncle Ferdinand, and he mentions Uncle Ferdinand
multiple times
down that
walking,
path.
Yeah, he went down this path. Yeah, it feels so great to walk down his footsteps.
He made it to Medusa's. He must not have known it was Medusa, unlike these demigods. So, anyways, okay. They're down there, and they're like, we need a plan? Is that what's happening now?
Yeah, and then Grover's like, okay, here's the plan. When I say Maya, and then he just floats her right away.
When I say Maya, like, he doesn't realize at that moment that's going to trigger it. And then he doesn't know how to stop it. He's like, Annabeth goes, stop. I don't know.
Yeah, like, he would say Maya again. Anyways, and then Annabeth's like, so I think we're going to need a new plan.
I noticed how neither of them seem at all concerned about the fact that he just flew away.
They're more like annoyed. They're like, oh, God, Grover.
It was actually very well done. It was funny. They do walk past.
Was to cut off her head invisibly, because
the plan was she had an invisibility cap, and that she would put it over Medusa, and then he would cut the head off at the time.
The first time I was watching, when he unclips his sword, uncaps his sword, and it starts glowing, and she sees the glow, I'm like, oh my God, Percy, what are you doing? You should have already unclipped it or whatever. But then I'm like, oh, maybe that was their plan. Maybe he was supposed to wait until she was close enough
to distract her,
to think like, oh, I must have got him, because then she gets all cocky, and then
also what wasn't the plan was that Grover was going to come distract her, so it was perfect timing when he's like, ah.
And that is true to the books. Like, he does do a terrible job flying in these shoes.
No, actually, he does a better job. When he first comes out, like, watch out, Percy, whatever. Percy's going like, oh no, if he's going to try to hit her, he's probably going to hit me.
Because
he doesn't. He actually hits flacks her twice.
That's true.
And then the third time she grabs the stick and throws and he runs into a grizzly bear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens. He actually does a good job smacking her twice. Yeah, because he is blind, but he has a really good sense of smell, and that's what he was using.
And probably hearing, too.
And hearing, yeah, because he's part animal.
And they just have, especially because he's a prey animal, and they have way better senses of smell and hearing and stuff.
Yeah, so he does do a good job. This one, he just comes flying and crashes into a box or something. I don't remember. But anyways.
Yeah, I think there's some statues in some boxes. He does get, like, hurt, and Annabeth is like, are you okay? And he's like, did you say something? Probably like his ears are ringing or something.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. I think I was paying too much attention to Percy or something, but
that's like right as he's like trying to find the head, so there's more interesting things
going on.
So yeah, so anyways, she's talking. This is when she says that thing about she being Medusa.
Oh yeah.
About like, I wanted to teach the gods a lesson, but maybe the best lesson is sending you to Olympus, something like that. And then then she sees the glow of the sword and she's like, stand up. And then he stands up, his eyes are closed, and you're like...
He's like, just say, come out where I can see you. Come out, let me see you. I don't know, whatever.
And then Grover flies by, crashes, and she turns her head, Annabeth throws the hat, and then he just swings.
He literally just swings.
She says, now. Like, she's like,
hopefully Annabeth jumped back several feet.
Well, she does. She, like, moves out of the way, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but... This seems like a terrible plan. Like,
it worked.
I know it worked. It wasn't a terrible plan, but I'm like...
He could have hit anything.
He can't see the head. Annabeth's right there. She could take it, like, I don't know.
Medusa had better, faster instincts, she could have ducked when Percy swung the sword.
Right, because she can see. Like,
she
they can't
fine.
see her, but they can see... I mean, she can see them.
It was very lucky. It was very lucky that they actually managed to do that, because
an invisible Medusa running around would have been way scarier. Like, if she had ducked and gotten away, she could just be standing like right in front of you and then just take off the cap. Like, it would be harder to fight. I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, suddenly now Medusa is invisible. Like, that could have ended up
invisible at any second. Yeah.
Anyways. So, like, in the book, they do, after Grover, gets thrown off, of course, and runs into the cement grizzly, Medusa goes suddenly to attack Percy, and he just slashes. He's got the ball, the sphere. It's like a glass garden ball, and so he does see her, and he actually slashes her.
Not glass. It can't be glass, because glass doesn't show that much reflection.
Okay. It just says a green gazing ball. Fine.
Yeah. Anyways.
Doesn't say, I didn't think about that. For some reason I had glass in my mind, but you're right, that wouldn't work.
It would have to be, if it's a gazing ball,
I don't know
it must be a specific thing. But it has to be reflective, whatever it is.
Yeah, and then he cuts her head off. But, okay. Well, before I say this, I just want to say two things. One, Rick, the author, has a cameo here in a way. One of those statues was him, the postal worker. So as Medusa's walking and talking towards Percy.
I missed that.
Oh, she passes a postal worker, and it's Rick.
How did I miss that?
Didn't we watch the making of together? It was mentioned in the making of. You must have just somehow missed it. Very briefly, but he was standing next to the same pose next to his statue in the making of Percy Jackson. You missed that?
I must have missed that.
So there you go. Next time you watch it, this little Easter egg. I know, it's so cute.
So cool.
So he's one of the statues. Poor Rick. First of all, what was he doing working as a postal worker? Anyways, probably just checking how Medusa's doing. So, and then the other thing I wanted to say is in both the book and also in the book, and we talked about this already in the TV show, Medusa says something about don't be a pawn of... Oh, does she say that in the TV series? I swear it's in both ones, but in the book for sure. When I just read it again.
TV show, no.
Oh, well, she's basically saying don't be a pawn to Olympus. Don't, I thought that was part of the conversation
she
with
says,
the hamburgers. When she was making the hamburgers in the TV show.
No, yes, okay. She says that you could choose to save your mom instead of do your father's bidding in the TV show.
So that father's bidding thing, I guess, is the only sign of that. Fine. And here she says something about being a pawn of Olympus and stuff. So whatever. I just thought at least it was a somewhat of a same message. It was listen, I was just grasping on anything that could possibly be similar between the two, and that was like something close enough, that,
you can control your own fate by turning into a statue, I guess.
Yeah.
In the book, she's like, you can control your own fate and not be a pawn of the Olympians. Right. But it's like, I don't know how dying now is better than dying later for the Olympians, I know. Not a very good argument.
Yeah, so they covered the head with the hat, right? We know that, obviously. And then in the book, I just wanted to say they were smarter. They took the veil and covered it with the veil and then found 2 plastic bags and shoved it in plastic bags.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm just saying they could the fact that Percy's like, let's keep the cap on Medusa's head and dig a hole and put it in the ground.
Well, I guess someone could just take off the bags.
Okay.
Maybe you can also just take off the hat.
But you're digging a hole and sticking in the ground. Someone's going to find the exact hole in the ground. I just think it's funny that was his solution and that Annabeth wasn't like, no, I have a better idea because she's super smarter. Instead, she says yes, which she doesn't want to say. Well, and Grover's the one that's like, no.
But she's clearly like,
sure. But she says sure.
Yeah, she does.
It was just like, to me, I'm like, that's not the only solution,
also,
guys.
When is this version of Annabeth suddenly like, it didn't even make sense that she would say yes at all.
I don't know. She wouldn't. There's no way.
She would have just been like,
in heck.
No,
Annabeth would let her.
But then it's supposed to be a sweet moment later, so whatever. Because then he's like, here.
But we're changing little bits of Annabeth, and again, this is always my disagreement with this particular.
I think
Annabeth,
she definitely has
or how they're writing her
of character change more than the other two.
Yeah, she does. Okay,
so I guess we'll see in season 2 how much she turns back into herself. Like, I wonder if they just thought for plot devices or, like, I don't know if they had reasons, but maybe those reasons are over and we could get Annabeth back.
Yeah. So, we might run a little bit over our normal time. I just want to say this, but we're close enough. We can probably finish.
Yeah, we don't have that much left, and I don't have that many notes left.
Okay, cool.
But carrying the invisible head, smart for so many reasons. Like, cut back on the CGI.
That's true.
I'm sure Walker had a fun time pretending to hold a head when he's clearly holding nothing. Right. And, it's smart for, like, another reason, because when he walks up to Electo,
he doesn't have a bag in his hand, that's true.
Like, he's empty-handed, as far as she can tell, he's just walking up, not even holding his sword.
Yeah.
So it's, like, super smart to then, like, last minute reveal the head.
Yeah.
So that was good.
That was good. That scene, which we're going into now, which is when they, not Electo. Yeah, sorry, it's Electo. But when Percy and Annabeth go to take the head, I don't know where Grover is. Maybe he's like,
I think he's still recovering downstairs. Yeah, maybe like they were like,
but they're like, let's handle Electo. Yeah, that scene was very interestingly filmed
from Annabeth.
It's filmed from Annabeth's perspective.
Yeah,
and it's at that time there's like a little shift. There's a little shift in what we call Percy Beth here. These two together like. They look a little bit like they just went through that together.
Yeah.
They're alive.
Yeah.
And then she has this like look, she like watches him almost a little nervous for him.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got, she's letting him go do this on her own.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's letting him.
Instead of her do it.
Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah. But they also realized that
something there.
Yeah. And they realized that teamwork together worked for them. They actually did a good job together.
Yeah.
I feel like there was so much going through her mind and his mind at this point.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of was funny...
part of why she said sure later. Like, maybe she was, like, trying to keep...
Oh, she was trying to keep hold of that.
Yeah, but then she turns right away and says, what did Medusa mean by taking my
thing? I know, this little nice moment here gets, like, ruined almost immediately. But then still, gets better. So. At that moment, it's neat. He turns Electo to stone, which was really cool looking.
It was so cool looking.
When she jumps towards him and turns to stone.
Yeah, but, and then, like, crashes and, like, breaks as she falls.
Yeah. But you start to get that Annabeth is starting to view Percy different. And I thought they did a good job on that. Yep. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That scene obviously is not in the book because Electo's not there.
Yep.
There's no Electo around at this time, so we don't have that in the book at all.
They don't use the head for anything. So they get back downstairs. Grover is like, this is Uncle Ferdinand. Yeah. He was here. This is as far as he made it. Yeah. And he's really sad about that. Then Percy says the thing about how, I killed Alecto and I wasn't even trying. We have to do something about this head. Let's bury it with a hat on.
Mm-hmm.
And Annabeth agrees. And then they start arguing again about, well, what did Medusa mean? Well, what did Alecto mean?
Doesn't Annabeth also act like, when were you going to tell me your mother was alive or something like that?
Yeah. What did Medusa mean about, like, your mother's life? Oh, yeah, no, you're right. That's what they talk about.
Yeah.
That's what she brings up. And he's like,
well, what did Alecto
like, oh, yeah,
mean?
she's with Hades. And then Annabeth says, what are you really doing on this quest?
Right. Which is different because I'm pretty sure in the books, Annabeth already knows
well aware
what exactly is happening and that Percy has this side interest in it. And they changed that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But that's when Grover gets mad at them and is just like, that's it, you guys. This is what's really happening. You know what I mean?
So he starts saying, like, first of all, that's the cap that her mom gave her. It's the only connection she has. We're not going to bury it.
Yes.
And Annabeth, come on. He just found out his mom is alive. You think this is easy for him? Like, cut him some slack. He might have to choose between the fate of the universe or his mother. Like, right. Seriously.
Basically, calm down, you two.
Yeah. And then Percy's like, why are you being like this? And he's like, because you guys will not stop fighting. And then he's like, he's saying maybe things need to get a little bit upsetting before we can get past this.
Exactly.
And then he starts asking, okay, so Annabeth asks you a question. What are you afraid of? And then that's when he answers.
That's when he brings up the whole friend thing and getting
someone's
betrayed.
Going to betray me.
Yeah. And again, I'm pretty sure in the book he told them ahead of time about the lines.
No, I think he did skip out on that because that's the same line. Because they rhyme. Everyone knows that they rhyme.
He said it at some point.
It rhymes with, like, you'll fail to say what matters most in the end.
Yeah.
Because it's like, so the one who calls you, or something about friend in the end. Yeah. So I think he skips out on both those lines, and then he tells them a little bit later.
Okay.
But not because he thinks that they're going to betray them. Like, he doesn't think that they're going to betray him.
He's confused about what the heck that means.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know what that means. He's only concerned about, what do you mean I'm going to fail to say what matters most? That's what he's concerned about.
Like, why am I doing this whole thing if I'm just going to fail? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, and then they have the whole thing where, like, what Alecto offered. Well, what did you say? I killed her sister. Well, Medusa offered. Well, what did you say?
I cut off
her head. And they're like, okay, we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's similar. I mean, that's not similar to the books at all, but there is a scene that is similar, which is when they're, like, talking about, Annabeth's kind of, like, blaming Percy for the whole Medusa cycle. Like, Medusa was Poseidon's girlfriend. They decided to meet in my mother's temple. Oh, this is where it says that. Yeah. That's why Athena turned her into a monster. Medusa and her two sisters, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so she's saying this, and he goes, oh, so now it's my fault that we met Medusa? And then she does this, like, starts mocking something he said that got him in trouble, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he
goes, it was like, what's the harm in
getting a photo?
Lunch?
No, it's the photo. Because she was, like, she was like, I'm going to take a photo of you guys. Sit here. And they're like, where's your camera? And she's like, don't worry, whatever. Yeah. That's when Annabeth figures out.
It's just a photo.
Yeah, so Annabeth's, like, making fun of him. And then he goes, forget it. You're impossible. And then she says, you're insufferable. And then he's just about to respond, and then this is when Grover jumps in and he's like, you two are giving me a migraine. And satyrs don't even get migraines. So that's literally all Grover does. Grover is much more, in this TV series, he's much more like the
emotional support satyr. Like
he is 100%. Yes. Yeah. He like makes them work things out. He kind of handles things. He doesn't always want to get in the middle of it. Like he does get like a little like, oh my gosh, I don't want to step in between these people.
Yeah, because he's still a little bit...
I think he's
nervous
not sure. Like, he doesn't want to look like he's taking everybody's sides sometimes. Because he's trying to be both of their protectors.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's a lot less. That's literally all he says. Then he's like, what are we going to do with the head? And then they go into the whole head scene. So that happens in both cases. And in both cases, they kind of do the same thing. They go to the account book. They see her.
We skipped.
What did we skip?
Well, I was just going to say that Percy says earlier that he feels so alone. Because he found out that Grover was her protector first, and he thinks someone's going to betray him, and he's feeling really alone. And then at the end of this whole conversation, once they work it out, and they both learn that, they both decided not to turn each other in, and they're all on the same team, Grover's like, so can't we just agree that while we're on this quest, none of us are alone? Like, we're all going to be there for each other. Okay. And I just thought that was cute. Great, yeah. And they both, like, were like, yes, like, in agreement. And then that's when we go into the scene of, like, what are we going to do with this head?
Right. And then that's when it's very similar both in the book and in the movie where they find her account book, they find like the address and they decide to ship it to Olympus. And in both cases, they do that great line where they're like, what is it? Like,
they're going to consider that impertinent.
Yeah.
Well, I am impertinent.
I am impertinent. It's very similar
but we're
in the book.
not. Like, at all.
Do they say that in the TV series? We're not?
Oh, in the TV series. And it says, but we're not. And Grover says, like, at all.
Exactly. So in the book, they don't say that at all. He says, I am impertinent. And then he looks at Annabeth, daring her to criticize, but she didn't. She seemed resigned to the fact that I had a major talent for ticking off the gods. That's how
Which comes up again later when he meets Ares.
Yeah.
In the books, not less in the TV show. But
much less. But
yeah. So this is the first time that we learn that Mount Olympus is at the top of the Empire State Building for sure, 100% in the TV show. It's right now when Hermes carrying the box, goes to the elevator, he does the thing.
Before you talk about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, we missed the best little scene, which is Grover starts to complain about something, and then he just goes,
yeah,
that's me clapping.
Golly.
And then he goes, oh, golly. Whatever, and then he goes
a rough consensus.
He like totally jumps all the way to consensus, and that's all he remembers, which is fair because that's about all I remember too.
Yeah,
but that was, and then Grover's like, "You're gonna sing the song,
you're gonna sing the song,"
and I just thought that was cute. Again, that little humor getting added into the whole thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to mention that.
Go ahead, stuff.
So we see the Empire State Building
for sure. Yeah, and then you see him. He
go in it. Yeah,
200, 400,
600.
600. Wow. Like I'm not even a real Percy Jackson.
He puts the key in, like, there's always those little key things that can override or bypass some sort of control.
Whatever it is,
yeah.
He does
so he puts the key in and it pops up.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I just wrote the number.
And he's singing it
600th
himself.
Floor,
It's called the Arthur's Song, something like that, whatever. But it's like it's like a New York song. He's like humming and the New York, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually found it and listened to it because other people seem to know what it was, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's Arthur's scene," and I was like, "I
listened to it, not even a good song, so I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I was like,
funny.
This is. I mean, it is elevator music in my opinion.
It was perfect, yeah.
Then he opens up. I mean, you don't see Mount Olympus, but
at all.
I mean, he's clearly a god. He's going to a magical floor. He opens it, and he's like, "You guys are not gonna believe this." And you see his face, and of course, all the fans of Hamilton are like, "Oh my god!"
We're like, woohoo! We were so excited.
Yeah,
I've heard some people complain about him not being a good Hermes, but I
felt out of all the gods,
and we can talk about that in the next when we get to when he's really being Hermes.
Him and Zeus were like,
I thought he was
the
great.
Best portrayals of their gods. Personally, if I had to pick my two favorites, Poseidon is too friendly.
I'm not sure I agree with you.
Hephaestus is. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot about Ares. Okay, Ares is also awesome.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 Ares.
Ares was amazing. No, but
he was good.
It doesn't. Him. To me, Hermes is a very, fluid god. Maybe they all are, but like, he comes across in this series. He actually comes across in this series.
That's why.
Exactly. He's got so many different things going on.
He's the god of travel.
He's supposed to be the god of trickster, so you can get the idea he can be a little mischievous. Yeah. You don't see that side of him in the book series. He's very concerned, because he's the concerned father of Luke. You get a little bit more of that, and he is a bit more serious, cute, like helpful even.
Yeah.
I think what's his name again? The actor.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I always mess up his name and I feel so bad. Thank you. I think he did a good job. I actually was very happy to see him as being Hermes.
Yeah, I think he did great. And I did notice while he was holding the box that it says "Best wishes, Percy Jackson."
Oh, great.
In the notes part of it.
And that's exactly what it says in the book.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
And I just think that is a little impertinent. However,
you're right.
Best wishes, here's a monster's head. But besides the best wishes, Percy Jackson, I don't quite understand what is so bad about sending the Medusa's head.
I think it's literally just the fact that he wrote with best wishes, Percy Jackson.
No, but even before he wrote that, they're saying you can't do this.
No, well, in the book, he first writes it, and then they're saying they're not going to like that. That's impertinent.
Oh,
yeah, it's after he wrote it.
Because I'm just trying to figure out what's so bad about that, and then does it just get returned to sender?
It does just get returned to sender, but they all know what's in it because they're gods.
Yeah.
I mean, Hermes is delivering it, saying you're not going to believe what this is, basically.
Yeah.
He already knows what it is. I don't really know.
I just can't quite figure out. Is it because, what exactly is it? Because it's a monster's head?
Why is it impertinent? Is it just the with best wishes? Because that does, now that you point that out, that is
best wishes, Percy Jackson is.
It should be
sassy.
I just want you to know that I finished this for you, or
Yeah.
No, but I don't know.
If it was here's the proof of my
loyalty.
Quest. And yeah, right? He could be like, well, to be fair, his dad did love Medusa. Oh. So maybe that's what's impertinent.
We don't know if he loved Medusa, come on.
Well, in his own god way.
Oh, no, maybe he just was horny. Anyways, sorry. Sorry. No, what was I going to say? Maybe they could have sent it to Athena, and it could have been like, Dear Mother, I've finally gotten rid of this nuisance of yours.
Yeah, but I feel like Medusa would rather... I mean, I felt like Athena, if she wanted Medusa dead, she would have killed her.
She wanted rather her suffer.
Well, yeah. I mean, Athena is like the god of turning humans into horrible monsters as punishment instead of smiting them.
Yeah, I figured it out.
With arachnid.
I figured it out. Literally all this is the fact that Percy has literally infused this whole thing with I'm being impertinent. When they got it, they knew exactly what was going on. They're the gods. They're like, he is being impertinent. He literally said he's being impertinent.
But Annabeth and Grover are in agreement. Like, I just feel like we're missing
They're not in agreement.
No, they're in agreement that it's impertinent.
Yeah. In the TV show, the whole twist of the next episode of Athena being mad at her is dumb and
no, but that's
not
not
happy
what I'm
with
talking
it.
about. I'm
in
saying
the books,
Annabeth and Grover are both like, no, this is bad. You can't do this. They're not going to like it.
Okay, yeah. So we're missing something.
Like, I just want to ask, like, because I feel like there's an obvious answer, but I just don't know.
I don't think you send the spoils of the war spoils to Olympus.
Okay, in a different book. Spoiler warning. Skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid spoilers about book 3. Percy kills the Nemean lion. He has this wonderful coat that's not just bulletproof, it's everything proof. Mm-hmm. And then he sacrifices it to his dad in order to get something back.
That's different than mailing the head. If they wanted to sacrifice over a fire,
then they would have liked that?
I don't know.
But he doesn't even do it over a fire. He puts it into the ocean and it like slowly disintegrates.
Okay, but that sacrifice is a sacrifice. Listen, I literally just read in the dictionary what sacrifice meant recently, and you're giving up something that you could use. Yeah. They don't want
it. You know they could use it.
They're literally like, I don't know what to do with this. Let's send it. It's almost like sending your trash. I'm going to just send my trash bag, one that can kill people, to my boss.
Can they kill the gods?
No.
I don't think Athena would give her that power.
No, it can't kill the gods.
No. So
no, but still, it's
trash.
It's a deadly trash for other people. I don't know,
but in the book, the gods don't even find it impertinent. Really, they just send it back to him.
They just send it back. They probably rolled their eyes and sent it back.
But you get the idea that Poseidon sent it back on purpose to help Sally.
I know, but I just thought about this. What if Sally was like, return to sender, and opened it up?
She would not open Percy's mail because that's a federal crime.
No, not if it's a child, a minor child.
That's right. Well, she still would open his mail.
I opened your mail all the way up.
Okay, it literally said, like, from the Olympians. Do you think that she would be dumb enough to open an unknown package?
No, I'm glad she wasn't. But I just thought about that now. Like, I mean, Gabe could have done it right away, which wouldn't have mattered.
I would like to say that, like, even though I say Poseidon is too involved in the TV show, Poseidon would have jumped down from Olympus and stopped Sally from opening that package. He would have. Okay. He wouldn't have let that happen.
Okay. Anyways, we kind of went a little wild there. I don't know where we ended up, but that's fine. So at the end, Hermes is like, yay, look what we got.
Yeah.
We're excited.
And that's where it ends.
And we do find out. Yeah, we do. And that gives us that little tease into, oh, look, we have Hermes. And also like, oh, they didn't show us Olympus, but now you want to see what Olympus looks like.
But you do know, as people who are only watching the TV show, you do know now that it's at the top of Mount Olympus.
So funny, because we just know that already, so you don't realize it wasn't mentioned.
I know, that's why when I was watching this, I was like, they still have not said one word about where Mount Olympus is.
Well.
So, that's where you get it.
Cool. That's cool. Well, that ends the chapter 11 of the book, and it ends, what is this, episode 3. My little question for the end here, we can do it really fast. If you had, and this is for listeners too, please do us a favor. We would love to hear from you. Go to our posts and answer or send us a message or whatever. But if you had to choose a pose for your eternal statue, like you were about to be turned into a statue, so, you know, how do you want to look? What are you going to pose? How are you going to pose?
I would love to say that I would just do my classic, like, photo, which is either a single peace sign, or if I'm feeling crazy, 2 peace signs.
Nice.
That's my normal, like, oh my god, someone's about to take a picture of me. Now, if I have more time, how much time has Medusa given me? Because if I have more time, then I might do something more elegant.
Are you going to ask for time to do your hair and makeup?
Well, makeup's pointless.
True.
Unless longer eyelashes.
Hair.
I could just do mascara.
Yeah, longer eyelashes. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Say, hold on, Medusa. I really, if I'm going to be eternally remembered this way, I need longer eyelashes.
Like a good outfit too, you know?
Gosh, this is getting complicated.
Yeah. So
Medusa would literally just be like, leave. You just save your life at that point. She's like, oh my gosh, you're a diva. Forget it.
No, but imagine if she's just like, I'm going to turn you into soda. She's like, ah! Just emergency peace sign.
You can't see her, guys, but she just jumped up and put a peace sign up. So she was getting ready for her photo. Well, then I know I'm the one who asked this question, but I have absolutely no answer. I would like to say in this scenario that I would like to look fierce.
Medusa.
Oh, that's just not me.
Maybe that's
I would like that's what you would do. I would like to look fierce, and I'd like to have a sword out and look like I'm about to attack her.
Not bad. Yeah,
I want to be fierce.
You have to make sure you don't look scared. You have to be like
I'm gonna kill you. I mean, and I obviously don't because I'm now dead as a statue.
But at least you were brave, like Uncle Ferdinand.
Yes, he was so brave.
He didn't look. I mean, he didn't look scared, but he also didn't look. He was just like kind of neutral
in the
faced.
show.
Yeah.
In the book, he was playing on his reed pipes, so I don't know if he was about to do some woodland magic.
Fighting. Like he's gonna fight.
Magin. I said magin instead of magic. So that's what happened.
But I know that Grover's like, look how brave he was. He didn't look scared, which is true. He did look crazily frightened like the other statues, but like he also just looks like he's like, well, this is my fate. Like I'm like, show a little bit of spice. Pull out your reed pipes.
I know.
Whatever.
Funny. Okay, well that's it for us.
We are taking a 1-week break for Easter holiday. Our next episode will come out on the 9th of April. Yeah, follow our Instagram. It's Camp Comparisons. And then we also have a Facebook page, which is Camp Comparisons Podcast. And we recently got a Twitter. I'm not going to call it X because we got an X just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, and I'm running the Twitter account, which is cracking me up because I've never done Twitter in my life. I mean, I think I have an account, but I don't ever look at it. So I just figured I just wanted to start doing that. Yeah. I figured we can have
comparisons?
More.
It's either
Camp Comparisons
or
Pod,
Camp Comparisons
Pod maybe.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wow, we're changing our names everywhere.
Listen, you'll see the orange circle with the sword. It says Camp Comparisons. That's how you know it's us.
Did you say a sword?
Yeah, I meant a Pegasus. I don't know why I said sword.
Yes, the orange circle with a Pegasus.
Anyways, we also have an email if you have longer thoughts or you want to send us pictures of the exact poses you would like.
Yeah, that would be fun.
As long as you have your clothes on, just putting it out there. It's campcomparisons@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, and don't forget a couple things. To rate us, to follow us. Like if you're on Spotify, I don't know how it works on the other ones. I'm sorry. I'm a Spotify listener.
Either rate or review usually.
Rate or review. Okay, but also follow too because we need a certain amount of followers before we can get to unlock new things with our Spotify. Yeah. And then also tell your friends about us.
Definitely. If you have Percy Jackson friends, if you have friends who like books, if you have friends who like Disney in general, get them on the bandwagon. Get them on our podcast.
Yes, please. Until next time.
See you at camp. Bye.
Bye.